Hello everyone, Flick here, welcome back to another contrast paint video, and today we have for you the new Iyanden Spiritseer sculpt, which came with the Apocalypse Craftworld's box. The original packaging, or at least preview images of that box, I'm pretty sure had the old Spiritseer model, the one that was doing like the heavy metal, like Spirit Stone holding pose. This is the new sculpt that you can get separately from that box now as well. It looks a lot better in my opinion. And we're going to be painting this today in the Iyanden Craftworld colour. So of course the main Citadel contrast paint on display today is going to be once again the Iyanden Yellow. Based in Greyseer, as always, as well. We'll be using a little bit of where is it? I always forget if it's Talasar blue will be done on the pauldrons, the outer shell of his helmet, but the inside bit's going to be white, I feel. Or maybe just like the Greyseer off-white that he is currently. Tassels will probably be done in the blue as well. And then the rest will probably be done in just normal paint. Might use a contrast on the holster, maybe just the black. I'm not sure what will gel well with it. But silver for the sword, gold for the scepter, that kind of thing. Probably, we'll use a little bit of basilicum grey on the stone he's standing on. But the base will be done in like the lava style that we've been using for the Iyanden army that's slowly getting built up over time. But to get started, even though I did say last time when we were doing the Wraith Guard that it's better to start with the dark colour. Actually, you know what? I might still start with the dark colour. No, I'll risk it. I'll start with the yellow, even though it'll be harder to tidy up any problems once the blue goes on. Let's start with the yellow, because that's the main colour on show. Here we go. So here we are at the first check-in after applying the Iyanden contrast. I've also just been using, which I actually forgot to close, the potted Greyseer just to touch up the bits where we didn't want the yellow bleeding. Gone over the gemstones on the armour again. We'll be going over like the actual runestone parts of the armour in gold probably at the end of the miniature though. So it's still got to dry fully, but just been touching up the little bits where the yellow bled too much. Next goal is going to be blue on the rim of the helmet other than the visor itself, blue on the tassels, which we're going to have to be very careful with, blue on the shoulder pauldrons, which we're going to have to be very careful with, and I'm probably also going to apply some Black Templar contrast in the same go to anything below this part of the scepter, or the staff rather. The top's going to be gold, but I'm going to make the handle black just to see how it looks honestly. Also going to apply some black to the holster of the pistol on his butt, and probably a little bit of black on the armbands on his hands. The gems will probably be just done in normal different colours, but that's what we're going with. So I'm going to let this sit for a little bit. I apologise, that was out of focus a little bit. Going to let it focus. Going to let it dry a little bit longer, and then get on with the Talasar blue, Black Templar black, and then we'll see where we go from there. So here we are with the rest of the contrast work done so far in the Farseer. I think it's looking okay. We probably will use the contrast apothecary white on the face mask there, but as we've already seen in previous videos in this series where I've used the white, it's really hard to tell, but it might just make it look like a thicker white, so and a bit of reflective white, so that's why we're still going to use it. Apologies for my dog crying at me for attention. So once the blue and the black is dried, what I'm going to do is apply gold to the tip of the staff, silver to the sword, and gold to the runes on the armour. The gems that I've went over again with Spiritseer, I'm actually going to try a new type of paint, not contrast, one of the new technical paints Citadel brought out, which is Spirit Stone Red. It's apparently supposed to do like a gem-like effect if you drag it as you apply it. Never used it, I'm going to try it on the gems on his armour, the 3 there, maybe some of the little bits on like the hanging parts of his armbands, some of those will be gold as well, and I'll finish the base. So we will be back with a final look at the finished Spiritseer. So quite a while later, because of the style of this base, it takes a long time to do. It's still not finished separating as it dries, but the main point of these videos are the contrast work, not the normal paint work. So here is the finished Spiritseer for the Iyanden studio army that's in progress. It turned out okay. The Iyanden yellow, I like it on the Wraith Guard that we did in the previous video. I think it works well as a bone construct looking material. For cloth, I'm not 100% sold on it. I've tried it as well on a Batman miniature. Batgirl's cape, the inside of it is also yellow, and it doesn't, I got the impression it doesn't apply well as a cloth, but maybe I'm just being overcritical. I think from a safe distance it helps highlight the edges and it adds shadow to the creases. It doesn't look as full and cloth-like as I feel like it should. It works well on like the bone parts of his back that are similar to the Wraith constructs. The white, I did just originally do just apothecary white. I didn't like it looking so bright white, I felt like it clashed a bit, so I added a layer of Nuln Oil and it kind of gave like his helmet is filled with smoke type effect, which I actually kind of like, but that's a personal preference thing. As for the Spirit Stone Red, I don't think those are big enough examples to see it work, because you're supposed to apply like in a line and then it pulls in the corner and kind of lightens at the top and then it creates a natural kind of gem-like look. These are all a bit too small to get that full effect, I feel. It finishes very glossy, so it does also have a shine on it that might not be too apparent on the camera, but I think it turned out okay. As always, you can be the judge of the finished model and whether or not it's something you want to work with, but I think, again, from tabletop distance, because remember, with contrast, especially with my lack of like decent painting skill, I'm aiming for good tabletop, so really you shouldn't be seeing the models up this close. You should be looking at them from like that kind of distance, assuming my camera goes into focus, which it did actually. That's the kind of distance you're wanting to look at it, and I feel like for a tabletop finish, that is acceptable, especially for someone who cannot paint. Obviously, if you use traditional paints and know what you're doing, you could definitely do better than this. But I think it turned out okay. Iyanden yellow, Talisar blue, you did alright by me. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this contrast video. There will be more contrast videos in the future, painting all manner of miniatures, trying out new paints, old paints, whatever comes along. You can let me know if you want to see more of a specific paint and I'll try and find something that it works with. But for now, I will say thank you very much for watching, and I will hopefully see you in the future for something else. Ta-ta for now.